Going live for our Simple Invest 360 Discovery webinar. Almost got the wrong one. Still have a few people joining us. So while we're waiting for them, I will launch a poll. Actually, let's just do a quick sound check. If you can hear me okay, please type something into the Q&A there. It should be okay, I think. And while we're waiting for everyone to turn up, thanks, Carol. Sounds good. I've just launched a poll there just to get a bit of understanding about who we've got joining us today. It just helps us to tailor the webinar. See, we've got some people already using Simple Invest 360. Thanks for coming along. Hope everyone's keeping warm on this fresh morning. Hearing it's cold up, even up in Gold Coast where Juvian is. Alrighty. So we've got a few people coming in, but we will make a start. So good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Pascoe. I'm the Simple Invest 360 Product Manager here at BGL. And in November, it'll be 10 years for me at BGL, so quite a while. And it certainly has been an interesting ride during that time. Now, this webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a copy of the recording as well as a copy of the slides. And that will be emailed out to you either later today or in the next couple of days. So please keep an eye out for that. As part of the email that goes out to you, there will also be a link to book in a meeting directly with me if you've got any other questions at all. So be happy to jump on another call with you or your firm or anyone else that you think needs to be using Simple Invest 360. We'll end that poll now and share the results with you guys so you can have a look. So most of you, of course, are already BGL clients, vast majority accountants, of course. It's BGL's bread and butter, looking after the accounting industry. And then the main software people are using, interestingly, is a general ledger software. So just a general ledger software. And then, of course, if you're using that general ledger software, you'll be pairing it with Excel for your investments. So we'll be having a look at that today. Okay, so tomorrow is the last of our RegTech events. If you're in Melbourne and you've got some time tomorrow, please make sure you come along to RegTech. I will be there myself, so come along and have a chat. It'll be your last chance to attend a RegTech event this year. And who is using Simple Invest 360? Well, Simple Invest 360, the vast majority, of course, are accountants. That has always been BGL's client base. And then there are also some self-directed investors who are using it themselves. So it's about a third are self-directed investors, perhaps looking after their own portfolio. They've got a few different investments and they need an investment tracking software as well as the tax to be able to keep everything up to date. But the vast majority, of course, are those professional edition Simple Invest clients. What are they using it for? Well, when it was originally built, Simple Invest 360, we built it just for trusts. And then as soon as we released a closed beta to clients, they wanted to use it for companies and individuals as well. So then we released the ability to use it for companies and individuals, but you can see the vast majority are still using it for trusts. And it's pretty evenly split between companies and individuals. And of course, trust, the main use case there is family trust, and then we do have a lot of unit trust as well. And what can Simple Invest 360 do? Well, it really is accounting, investments, financial reports, and tax for trust companies and individuals. You can see here that for the investment trusts, investment companies, we do the full CGT register, investment reporting, financial reporting, tax reporting, as well as tax return lodgement. And just for those individuals, we don't have a tax return lodgement yet. We do, however, create a tax reconciliation report as well as tax rec summary, but we don't do the full tax return. If this is something that you want to see in the software, make sure you leave feedback. There's a little thumbs up icon on the right of the screen whenever you log in. That feedback goes throughout the whole company, including Bron and Daniel. Okay, so why did we build Simple Invest 360? Well, we built it for our clients that were asking time and time again, why can't I use Simple Fund 360 for non-SMSF? They saw all the time savings, all the automation, all the AI features we have in Simple Fund, and they wanted to be able to use it for non-SMSF entities. Speaking with our clients, we knew that for these non-SMSF entities, they were still having to use many different software to be able to get to a position of creating financial reports and lodging a tax return. For example, your current workflow, if you're not using Simple Invest like this, if you're not using Simple Invest yet, could look something like this top line, where you're collecting data from banks, brokers, wraps, and platforms. You're then getting your staff or yourself or the client to upload that data into a document management system such as Dropbox or Google Drive. You're then keying the information into a general ledger, as well as keeping a separate Excel spreadsheet to keep track of the cost base history and all of the DRPs, for example, because you're not able to keep track of that in your general ledger software. And if they have any international investments, you are needing to go onto the RBA website to get an exchange rate to translate that to AUD. Once you have put all the information in general ledger, to then calculate the taxable income, you're probably using another Excel spreadsheet, and once again, Excel to decide how you're going to distribute out all the profits to the beneficiaries or shareholders. For any letters or minutes, you'll be using Word at the moment to do that. And then, of course, you need to punch back in the final tax figures back into your general ledger or tax software to then lodge through to the ATO. With Simple Invest 360, we're trying to really eliminate a lot of that back and forth, a lot of that manually rekeying of data, as we know that's when errors can occur. And of course, it's taking up a lot of your time. So you can automatically upload a lot of the information into Simple Invest using our data feeds, as well as our Smart Docs email, to get all that information, all the documents, all the supporting documents into the software. Of course, all of our data feeds that are already available in Simple Fund are already available in Simple Invest. We then have a fully integrated CGT register within the software, so you don't need to keep a separate Excel spreadsheet. We are then allowing you to calculate all the taxable income, and I'll show you this later on. And we do have a fully integrated module where you do that year-end process as far as calculating the distribution available and distributing out in software. We can allow you to create all the letters and minutes using our reports, as well as our Word document templates. Then, of course, you can lodge directly through Simple Invest for the investment trust investment companies. So how does your current general ledger software compare to Simple Invest 360? Well, in your general ledger software, there's no place to record units. So that's why you're keeping that Excel spreadsheet. Perhaps you're putting into the description of the transaction itself. We have a specific field where we're recording units, and that's being stored in our CGT register. You don't have a more details panel. Now, our more details panel is used to collect a lot of information about the transactions, including all of the tax related to transactions. So it's not just a double entry accounting system. We do have the full integrated tax calculations as well. For the capital gains, you need to go through in your general ledger software and manually create a journal entry after you've calculated using your Excel spreadsheet, whereas we have the CGT register fully integrated. We calculate all the capital gains for you, whether it's discounted or not, and we will post it for you as well. And then, of course, when you get into the stage when you are ready to create the tax return, you do need to submit also a capital gains schedule, which we will be pre-filling for you in Simple Invest, but that's still information you need to manually type into your capital gains schedule in your tax software. And of course, you don't have any current market valuations in your general ledger software, or in Excel, perhaps you could do it if you know how to use the public APIs. But within our software, we are automatically pulling through daily pricing for a vast range of securities. And of course, investment dashboards. You don't have this available in your general ledger software. You could do it in Excel if you're quite up to speed with Excel, but we automatically do it for you in Simple Invest 360. So we'll have a quick look now at how we do all of this within Simple Invest. Now, here is one individual that I set up earlier, but if you are going through and creating an individual, just know that we do have a conversion service for you, so we can convert that data for you across from your current software into BGL. Now, if I wanted to import in some investment history, perhaps I've got investment history, or perhaps just for the year, the client's giving me the CSV file from their broker. I can do that via this broker CSV import. Choose the file here. It's showing me the preview of the file. I then just do some basic mapping. So I can go through and find a purchase, the contract date, units, security code, and the net amount. And then we can import that in, and that will start importing in all that data. So you can see if the client's just giving us information at the end of the year, we can quickly import this data in. Otherwise, the gold standard is for you to set up some, yes, we accept CSV files. Otherwise, the best thing you can do is set up some data feeds. So from the broker or from the wrap platform, of course, from the bank as well. So once the data is imported in, you'll be able to see all of the information in a transaction list. So you can see here we're still a full double entry accounting system. So you're still getting those debits and credits. You can still do journal entries if you need to do any sort of adjustments. You don't lose your accounting knowledge. You can still use that accounting knowledge here. Okay, so once we've got the data in here, like I said, we have that more details panel. So for example, in this purchase here, sorry, we've also had this units column. So you can see here, when we are inputting that data in, we'll have a column for the units, and that's keeping track of all the units you purchased for this security. With the more details panel here, you can see it's showing us contract date, settlement date, and unit price, as well as consideration. So we're already starting to collect even more information for you. If there was a disposal, so you can see this one here is disposals. Once again, it's got that units column. So we are recording the units for you, what you disposed. And then as far as the more details panel here for a disposal, we're showing the contract date, settlement date, consideration, unit price. You can choose the disposal method, which you can also, of course, select as a default method for the whole entity. And then we are showing you the calculations here. So like we said, this more details panel is always about the tax side of things. So you can see here that we've got an other capital gain, and we're already seeing it within the transaction itself. Okay, so what about corporate actions? At the moment, if you are just running it through an Excel spreadsheet and general ledger, you need to know that corporate action is taking place. You would then go find all the information about that corporate action and then punch it into your Excel, and then eventually do a journal entry as well into your general ledger. Within here, we look at all the securities that you have on hand. We know all the corporate actions that have taken place from our ASX feed, and we present you all the corporate actions that you need to process. Now, these ones here, you can see that they're DRPs, but we handle all of those mergers, demergers, code class change, share purchase plan, all of that. We handle all of those corporate actions for you. Now, if you have received a cash dividend, we will not present it to you as a DRP to be processed, so you're not going to be doubling up. With this one here, this NAB, we wanted to process it as a DRP. Step 1, select security. We've done that. Step 2, input details. You can see we've gone through and pre-filled all the information for you based off what we know. We know from the ASX feed what you should be expecting based off your units on hand. Then it's just a matter of clicking process corporate action, and that's done. So this is the process one that we've done for NAB, and we can show you the transaction here with all the information relating to it. It's going to pull through into the tax reports later on. Okay, now we also have a fantastic feature called the distribution tax automation. This is my favorite feature within both Simple Invest and Simple Fund. You know, for your clients that have ETFs or managed funds, at the end of the year, you are receiving these tax statements. A lot of information there. I don't know how people are doing that when they're using an Excel spreadsheet to record the information they need to record, as well as the general ledger. It is an absolute nightmare if you're doing it manually. Within here, we know for OVAS that we've received some income during the year into our 238, our distribution account. And so we just uploaded the annual tax statement. I know that annual tax statement has been uploaded because I've got my little SD icon there. And the first time you upload it, it'll take about 5 minutes to read that data, and then you can click extract from PDF. And you can see from that end of year tax statement, it's pulled out all of the information here, all the tax information required. And if there's that variance there, we can generate an accrual. Otherwise, we can just click generate and mark as reviewed. And that will now post a transaction as well to the ledger. So if we find that one, it's this one here. So it's just a 238, no information debit or credit, but in the more details panel, it has all of that tax information pulled through from the annual tax statement. So something might have taken you, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You see it's just a couple of clicks here now. Huge, huge time saving. Imagine doing that for someone who's got 10 or 20 holdings. Okay, so that was a bit around how we are differing from your current general ledger software. Let's have a look at a few of the reports as well. So as far as the capital gains reports, like we say, where we have that full integrated CGT ledger, you can do capital gains rec and the realized. You'll be able to see here, we're doing the full reconciliation for you. Well, there's also a place to put in the carried forward losses and then the realized capital gains report for that disposal that we saw earlier. So no longer need to calculate all this manually. We will do it for you all automatically. And then finally, around the current market valuation and the investment dashboards. Let's see what this investment dashboard looks like. This is on screen. You can give your clients access to this. You can give them access just to this screen if you wish, lock it down so they can't see the other parts of the software, or you could give them access to the investment dashboards via the Engage by BGL app as well. Then they can see here how they're going for 2025, how they're going for the last 5 years. Pretty good return, 94%, not bad. You can see here, we are continuing to build out this investment reporting as well. Okay, so now let's jump over to a trust that I set up earlier. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. So this is a family discretionary trust. You can see it's got quite a few beneficiaries in it, including individual beneficiaries and investment company and another trust. And then it's got quite a range of investments. So real estate, listed, crypto, a bit of everything. Now, throughout the whole year, the processing is all the same as Simple Fund 360 for those of you that are already familiar with it. So we are getting all our transactions in. We're using our smart matching or smart docs. We are then doing all the corporate actions, distribution tax automation, and then where we start to differ in Simple Invest 360 is around the year-end process. So instead of doing create entries, we have this period compliance option where we come in and we can choose to distribute either yearly, quarterly, monthly, or an other period. And then we just click on Start Workflow. Up comes our statement of taxable income screen. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of clients were doing this reconciliation in Excel. Now you can do it on the screen. So we have our net profit before distributions as per the operating statement, just our income less expenses, then adding back all of the taxable items to then get to our net taxable income or loss. We can do any adjustments on screen as well. And then there is a reserving section. So perhaps you're doing reserving, perhaps you don't need it, or you can do your own custom reserving to then get to the income available for distribution. We can then save and post. And then comes our distribute profit screen, where we're showing the taxable profit available for distribution and all the beneficiaries within the trust. We can choose to turn on income streaming if we wish. That will allow us to stream out the franked and discounted to different beneficiaries. Otherwise, we can do a dollar amount, or we can just do a 60-40 split here. So you can see that's the accounting side that we are distributing above. And then we can autofill the tax components below from those percentages above. So you can see splitting out the frank distribution, the other income, just based off those percentage above. But we do allow you to edit this. So if you need to make any adjustments, you can, as we know that there's always edge scenarios, and we just want to give you that full automation, but still with the maximum flexibility. Okay, so now this is ready to go. We can post and continue. We do have the option to post the journal through to the beneficiaries as well, but I'll skip that for now. And then you can see we are pre-filling the tax return for you here, ready to validate and lodge, but we're also already showing you where you're missing some information which you need to fix up before you can validate and lodge. Let's have a look at some of the reports that we're running off here. So you can see we're generating a full report pack. You can save report packs. You can edit things around the report pack, such as how we're calling a balance sheet or an operating statement, edit things around the blue line and the formatting. And you can see here we've got our statement of financial position, our operating statement, memorandum of resolutions, The trustees' declaration, this is all ready to be electronically signed using your electronic signing provider of choice. Compilation report, statement of distribution, the beneficiary balance summary, it's a bit of on-off during the year. Beneficiary distribution summary, so saying similar to that screen we saw when distributing the profit. An annual tax statement. So similar to how your clients with those ETFs managed funds be receiving the annual tax statement, now you can issue an annual tax statement from your trust that you're running on Simple Invest 360. These annual tax statements are even better than those ones that you receive from the ETF providers because the tax return label here will update depending on the type of beneficiary. So if it's an individual, company, trust, or an SMSF. And then the tax return summary report, and of course the tax return itself. Either you can punch this into your own tax software or you can lodge it directly through BGL. So that was for a family trust. We can have a quick look, since we've got some time, at a company, as that's those growing as well. Within a company itself, I'll just draw your attention one moment to the Division 7A feature. So we allow you now to use Simple Invest as a Division 7A register. We will do all the calculations for you. So whenever you're creating a loan, calculate from the date that you say that the loan comes into effect, judging on the interest rate from the ATO, interest payments, minimum payments, the running balance. You can then choose to update the payments within this screen, or we can link it through to the ledger of the company itself. So we do have a full Division 7A register, as well as all the calculations similar to what you're doing at ATO website, all built within the software at no extra charge. Okay, so for the company, all through the year, processing is all the same. And then when we get to the year end, it's just a matter of starting our workflow. We come through to our statement of taxable income screen. We have our income available for allocation. We then save and post. Up comes our dividend payment screen, where we can then choose if the franking rate is 25 or 30%. We can check our franking account worksheet for the franking credits available. And then we can choose how we pay out this dividend to the A and the B class. And then it's just a matter of clicking post to continue. And once again, we have the company tax return ready to be validated and lodged once you've fixed all your errors. And then for a company, we're running off a few different reports. Being cloud software, we can jump around and keep working away while the report is running in the background and no longer locked down like you used to be over in desktop land. And of course, all the letters and minutes are just Word document templates that you can edit. So you can see a statement of financial position, the operating statement, declaration of dividends resolution, members minute, the dividend statement. So this is just a Word document template you can change if you wish. And minutes of meetings directors, directors report, spilled out of client feedback, director's declaration, tax rate summary, and then the company tax return itself. Okay. And so now that we have our SMSF, let's say we've got our SMSF on BGL, we're adding in our investment trust, investment company, we've got some holdings in our own name as well. And we want to see all of that information within one place. We now have consolidated reporting where you can go through, you can create a group. Here's a group I created earlier. You can see it's got a trust, SMSF, a couple of individuals, a couple of companies. And then you can see here, it's got the cover letter, a summary across the whole group, asset allocation, pie chart, which we can choose to view by asset type, defensive versus growth, GICS code, or control account of the chart. This was a new addition that we made for a client that requested it. Always happy to work with you, build out based off client feedback. Tax position, and then newly added is a full statement of financial position, either by a period view or entity view. Same with the operating statement, and also an investment report where we can click through and see which entities are holding which investments, or we can just show a period view, get a overall perspective across the whole family group. Now, as far as I know, there's no other software out there that is doing this to this level. This is a huge, huge game changer. This will allow you to provide a holistic view for your clients across their business, across their investments, and across their SMSF, and they really get to the understanding of where their wealth is at. Okay, so we had a quick look at how SimpliVest 360 is different from your general ledger software. We had a look at how we are able to record units. We have the more details panel, how we're automatically recording for you capital gains, as well as pre-filling the tax return with all the capital gains information and the capital gains schedule. And of course, investment dashboards, not just at a one entity level, but at a group level. We have those investment dashboards at a group level for you that you can share with your clients. So you can see a quick breakdown here of what it is and what it isn't. We have not now also introduced invoicing for properties. If you wanted to hear more about that, just let me know. You've done the demo and the client feedback. So for SimpliVest 360, things that people love about it is the time-saving CGT calculations, being able to have all the information in one spot, and of course, support. We have a dedicated support team for you. You can reach them via chat within the software, or they can also call you back or do email support as well. So right now you're probably thinking, I can't wait to get started, and that's probably the right thing to do, to get started. That's always the hardest part. So let's see if we can pull up another poll for you. Just launch this one. So first of all, of course, we need to get a license for SimpliVest 360. So you should be able to purchase SimpliVest 360, identify which entities you want to convert across first, and then our client success team will convert that data for you free of charge for a period of up to 6 months. All those entities you convert in that first 6 months are free, and then after that, it's a nominal fee. I believe it's around $45 from memory. Don't quote me on that. So it's quite easy to get set up. And of course, if you already know Simple Fund 360, it's very short learning curve for you as far as learning SimpliVest 360, because all those key concepts are the same. And the all-important question, the pricing. So SimpliVest 360 is $100.10 per entity, purchase in blocks of 5, and then there are blocks of 1 thereafter. And of course, the data fee is the same as Simple Fund, so $45 for bank, $45 for share data pack. So the most you could pay per entity would be $200 plus GST per year. Huge amount of value in that $200 for you.